Okay, so I finished this one yesterday on my tiger lily, it was similar to this background color, this red, but then I just didn't like the red, so I covered it up with some gray gouache. Pretty pleased with this painting. So today I'm going to start on this one. I think I'm going to do a series of different kinds of roosters or chickens. I already put out some of my gouache, and I'm using different kinds of gouache. I'm using whole bean, Winsor & Newton, and some of this Essentials, which is more of a student grade, but I'm trying to use very little of that. My favorite one is these, I think it's whole bean. I like that brand, but Winsor & Newton is good as well. So that's what I am starting out. I'm gonna mix a black. Oh, I need to get some burnt umber or some kind of umber so I can mix a black, or you can use tube black, and I think I will put some tube black out, maybe. Let's see how this burnt umber. I've got a little Prussian blue and a little burnt umber. I'm gonna mix those two together to get sort of a black. A little bit of this red in here, and we're just gonna go ahead and do his pupil. And I am using my golden maple detail brushes. I really like them. They are for watercolor, acrylic, or gouache, but I would get, if you're going to use it for watercolor and gouache, I would get a separate set for my acrylic, because acrylic is really rough on brushes, and it's probably best if you don't use the same brushes for your acrylics that you use for your watercolor. So I'm going in here, and this is some burnt sienna with just a little bit of yellow mixed in it, so it's almost an orange. And I'm going to do the iris. And it doesn't show up that well on this bright red background. I should rethink this, I think. And it's sort of bleeding into the black. I don't like that. I do not like that, so I am going to take a piece of tissue and dab that up, and then I will come back to it after that dries and fix it. You get to see in real time that, you know, sometimes things just don't go the way that you think they are. And I know you can hear Dorian in the background. He is trying to get the female interested in a date, and she is ignoring him. Oh, I think I'm going to put out a little bit of black too, just in case I need to darken a color. So just a tiny bit of black. I don't need a lot. So let me work on his beak while I let this dry so I can fix that. I'm going to come back in there and get that same mixture that I made. It's sort of a black. It's a blue black. And get a little bit of this purple and put in there to just darken it up. That'll help make it a little bit richer, a little bit darker. And then I am going to paint his beak. And I need like a little bit of a gray, sort of a yellowish gray here. And it goes right at the tip of his beak. And then he's got just a little bit here. Put that there. And another little spot of this sort of palish gray right here. Now I'm going to come back in and work on this pupil. I'm just going to paint that back in. And we're going to let that dry instead of trying to make the iris while it's still wet. I always forget that these are like watercolors, where if you touch wet paint to wet paint and it's pretty thin and pretty watery, it will bleed into each other. So we don't want that. Now I'm going to come back in with some of this yellow orange, and I'm going to do the highlight in his little wattle. Is this called a wattle? I'm not sure. Into his little hangy down thing there. Oh, I missed his bottom beak. Let's get just a little bit of this blue and brown mixture, and I put just a touch of black in it to make it a little bit darker. And we are just going to paint in that bottom part of his beak. And then up here, he has a little shadow. And I think I am going to take just a little bit of this white, a little bit of white and black that I mixed when I did my other chicken. We are going to add that highlight in there. And it looks a little bit light, so I'm going to come in here, get some of this a little bit darker. I had too much paint on my brush, so I just took it off onto the paper towel. I'm going to let that dry. Now I'm going to go back to the wattle and work on it. I need a nice bright red here. I almost don't even need to use this red because the background is almost the same exact color. Just blend it in with that orange a little bit. And then this darker red I'm going to put in the shadow part. Just like that, and then there's a little bit of shadow underneath the beak. And out here to the edge. Bit of a pinker color in here. See what I'm doing here. Actually, that is a little bit of a darker color. Let's see, where am I putting this darker color? Here. And just bring this on down. Let's see. Now that is going to be a really pale. Let's see. I need a little bit of a lighter red for that. Sort of a reddish orange. It's lighter. And a little bit of darker color in here. A little shadow there. We need a little shadow. I want to get a little bit of permanent rose out, I think. I want to try that. That's crimson red. I need to find my permanent rose. Here we go. Let's try. I want to see what this looks like. Let's see what that. It's definitely a different look, but I like it. Let's see, what are we doing here? Yeah, let's bring it all the way up. Trying to get all these folds and bends. I think I'm going to come back in here with this. Let's see, we'll get a little bit of. I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to come back and add some more layers to it. These are just my initial layers. Let's see. Now that should be dry, so I'm going to come back in here with this sort of burnt sienna orange color. And do his iris, and now they are not bleeding together because it is dry. And then we'll come back. I'm gonna get just a little teeny bit of this black and mix it with this blue. And just go around his eye. Actually, that is too thick, but I'm not gonna sweat it. Because I can come back in there and make it a little bit smaller. That is the beauty, the absolute beauty of gouache. You can paint over it if you're really careful and use a light touch. You can paint over it and cover it up. Lighter colors can cover the darker colors, unlike watercolor. You cannot paint over a lighter color over a darker color in watercolor. I mean, you can, but it's not going to show. It's not going to cover the darker color. I'm just trying to work out this little highlight here. It needs to be blended in just a little bit more. There we go. I'm going to get some of this rose. Work on this part of his wattle, part of his face here. I'm going to mix some of this rose with a little bit of this purple, just to make it a darker color, just to make it a nice shadow color in there. Mix a little bit of white with some of this rose. and just a teeny bit of this red. And we're going to paint around his eye. Got home to y'all a little bit. Let's get some more shadow in there. I'll get some more of this gray. There. And just paint some more of his wattle. And then wherever we need it to be darker, we'll just put some of that darker red in there. I'm gonna give him a black background too, because I'm not crazy about this red on red. You can barely see it. I can see it, but I don't think the camera's picking it up. I'm gonna give a little white highlight to his eye. There, maybe a little highlight there on his beak. That looks good. He also has some white feathers here. Let's go ahead and start painting in some of his white feathers. Boy, the birds are just, they're loud today. Let's go a little closer so you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. Put a little teeny bit of gray in there. I'm gonna come in there with a much smaller brush, and I am gonna use black on my little teeny tiny brush. I'm just gonna clean this area up just a little bit. Or maybe I'm not. Let's let it dry first. It's gonna bleed into that red if I don't let it dry. So let's let it dry first. Let's come back and work on some more of these white feathers that he has. Or she. No, I think this is a he. So just get those white feathers going. Okay. Sort of get some of those little feathery spots in there. Just trying to be careful. We're just getting down some of the, what I call the initial layers. And then I'm going to build these layers up as I go. And I'm just sort of trying to map out my colors as well. Somebody's texting me, but they're just going to have to wait. I am busy. Busy, 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 busy. Alright, I'm starting to like it here. I need a nice reddish, rusty brown. So I think what I'm going to do, let's see. I got sort of a nice orange there. So I'm going to put a little bit of burnt sienna with it, just a touch, and see if I can get a nice rusty brown for his feathers. Might need a little bit more red. Let's put a little more red in there. I think it needs more yellow. That's a nice color. I think it needs just a teeny bit more yellow though. I'm gonna put a little yellow out here. And that's a lemon yellow. And yes, I have my brush in my mouth and that's why it sounds funny. A little bit more red. Yeah, that's the color I want right there, right there. So I'm just going to put in some of these brighter, sort of reddish orange, rust colored feathers. Just to lay those in there. Y'all singing it today. Singing it. Oh yeah, I definitely made a mistake by going with this red background for these chickens. I will learn my lesson one day. It sounded good in my head. It's not so good painting it. Although I really do like the vibrance that red background, that red undertone is giving through some of my paint. So it's not totally awful. It's just a little hard to see where I'm painting because it's so bright and it's so warm, and the colors I'm using are very warm. I probably should have used a blue background for these chickens. But like I said, you live and you learn and you just move on. I'm going to come in here with some of my blue-black mixture. And just sort of put that in there as well. He's starting to shape up. Just add a little bit more of that to his beak. And let's see, he's got a little black top knot right there. And a little bit in these feathers, just a little bit. I'm just going to go with some of that brown, that darker brown there. Just blend it with that black. And you can't even see what I'm doing. Here we go. Let those dry a little bit. I'm going to come back to this coxcomb up here. This little comb. Start working on that. Let's see, some of this rose in there for a nice shadowy color. At least get the shadowy color started. Needs to be a lot darker right in here. Just get that in there. And then right around here, it's a little bit darker. And let's see, there is some shadow in here. Let's see. Right there. And I'll come back to this nice bright red. And some of this is dried from yesterday, so it's not as you know, easy to work with as it would have been if I had just gotten it straight out of the tube. Just getting my base color down here. I know it doesn't look like much, but trust me, trust the process, trust the process. Come back up here and get some of these darker colors. Maybe add just a teeny bit of black to the blue, just to sharpen it up some. This is really dark in there. It's really, really dark right here by his eye. The doves are in rare form today. They are so loud. So loud. It is, whew, it's a lot. Just getting in between the feathers. He has black markings in between his feathers, so I'm just getting those in there. He's really a pretty rooster. Very pretty rooster. Up his underbeak a little bit. Now let me get that tiny brush back. I want to work on his eye. It should be dry, and I'm going right into the black. I'm going to dab a little of the excess moisture off of that brush, so I want to be able to control it. There, perfect. Also going to go into that center pupil and darken some of that up. Then I'm going to add just a little bit of, oh, too much black in that. Get some of this white. Add it to this orangey color. And just so that the eye has a little bit of depth to it, I'm going to put a little bit lighter in there. There. Now, let's start working back on this on his wattle. So it needs to be a little bit redder, a little bit more. I'll add a little bit more red to that mixture. And just sort of get that going in there. Just little tiny little dots. There's some little texture right under his eye, right above his eye. So we're going to get that in with my tiny little brush. I'm just doing little dots down there. I'm not doing anything fancy or, you know, hard, I guess is the word. Take some of this darker color, put it here, and bring this darker color into his wattle. Sort of, there we go. There. All right, now I'm gonna get some white. Ooh, too much. That was too big of a stroke. I had too much paint on my brush, so I'm just gonna dab that up. I wonder if I could, let me try it with the big brush. See if I can get a slimmer line there, because this has a better point on it than those little stubby brushes. I just have to, let me take some of that off. I'm just gonna have to do a light. No, it's just as big, so that's not gonna work either. Let me look at my brushes. What do I have? What do I have? Try this one. All right, there we go. There we go. That's a little bit better. I got one little fat one there, but it's gonna be okay. He's got some white here, little white feathers, sort of little stumps. There. This might need to be just a little bit better. There we go. Feathers here, a whole bunch of them. Just taking a little bit of a darker color and adding it where I want a shadow in here. I might even add just a tiny bit of that Prussian blue into that. Just darken it up with just a little bit more. And I'm going to concentrate those darker dots wherever I want the shadows to be. Just like that. And this is really dark in here. Get some blue. There. And it's really dark in here. Let's see, let's do a few little. There. And he has some white dots that are highlights on the top of his little comb here. So let's go ahead and put those in. They're really bright. Let's see. Bit of a light pattern right there as well. Just trying to get some of those light patterns on there. And some of this red is a little bit wet, so that's okay. Because it just helps it blend a little bit more. Get some of this red and mix it with the yellow. Get a little bit of that in there. Just some nice bright orange. As another layer. some more white, see if I can work on this a little bit more. Starting to bring him to life even more. Just adding some of this white in here. Too much water. Too much water. Add a few more little white feathers. Some of his feathers are tipped with white, so I'm just gonna put some of those little feather tips in there. And then I'm gonna come back in with some more browns. Ooh, that was a big blob. I'm gonna fix that. Yes, that's starting to come around now. Starting to look good. Now I'm going to work on making a nice dark color, a nice dark shadow color. Just tapping in there, just trying to get some shadows. There. That's working for me. It's really dark in there, so I'm going to go with just a teeny bit of black mixed with my colors just to darken it up. And some. There we go, a little highlight on there. There's some black feathers right there on the other side. Let's add some more of these coppery colored feathers. That's pretty. He's coming out, he's coming around. And I'm just going to continue to layer colors and layer colors and layer colors. Getting lighter as I go in some areas and a little bit darker in other areas depending on what it needs. And what I think I'm going to do is paint the background because that red is very distracting. Learn from me. Do not do this. Do not use a red background for a predominantly red painting because you can't see his comb. So I am going to mix a little bit of blue. Let's see, a little bit of blue. What color blue do I want? Let me try this. Let's see what kind of blue I got right here. I'm gonna mix a little blue and white. I'm running out of space on my palette. Let's see how this blue will look. Ooh, that's some blue. I kind of like it, but it's a lot. It is a lot. I might have to go over this and make this a little bit of a gray blue. I'm going to do this first layer first before I decide. But yeah, that was a mistake, putting something red on a red background. I will not be doing that again. Turn him around a little bit. And I think this blue helps this out a lot. Helps it out a lot. Yes. Much better. Now you can actually see what I've been trying to paint. Much better. I'm gonna let this dry. Okay, I let that background dry just a little. I think I want it to be a little bit darker. So I'm gonna get some of this darker blue and mix it in with my medium blue here. I wonder what it would look like if I try to do like a bokeh effect while it's still wet. No, I don't hate it. I don't know if I love it though. Gotta experiment, see what you like, what you don't like. It's pretty subtle. I think I'm gonna leave it. I think I'll leave it like that. I'm just doing a little section at a time so that I can get that bokeh type effect in there while it's still wet. Alright, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Oops, I forgot to do the background first. Look at me. I'll get the background, wet it down, and then put our little bokeh spots in. Alright, now, while that background is drying a little bit, I'm going to come back in here, add a little bit more black feathers. Brighten those up some. Work on his comb some more now. Now that we can see the contrast, I also am going to add just a tiny bit of a little bit of a highlight there, and just a little teeny bit here. And come back and darken up some of these white feathers. Choo 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 choo. Just trying to get some more texture in here. I'm going to get a little bit more yellow and mix a little bit of white into it. For some of these highlights, I think. Just add more texture here and there. Just layering over that dark, going from dark to light. And I know you're supposed to go from light to dark with gouache, but I'm doing it my way because that's what I do. I do things my way, the way that I am comfortable doing them, and the way that makes sense for me. Just keep on adding some highlights here and there. Some of that color is seeping through from the bottom, so I'm just going to come in here and add another layer. now I'm just going to darken up some of those areas in his wattle. I'm going to take this purple and some of this rose and a little bit of this blue. And darken in some of these areas. They need to be darkened in. And I'm going to finish it off with some white highlights, and I think I'll be done. First I'm going to fix this feather. It looks funny to me. There. Now let me take some of this white and just add some white highlights. Almost finished. going to get some more of this little gray, this little bit of gray here, this yellow gray. Redo that tip. We lost it somewhere along the way, so I'm just going to put it back out there. And let's see. Just brighten up some more of these little black markings of his. Alright, I am calling him done. Done, done. Oh wait, no. I need to darken up some of this. I need a little bit of a darker bit here before I call it done. Alright, now I'm going to call it done. Actually, I'm not. I need a little bit more of this light rose color. Some white. Just blending in some of these shadows just a little bit. Alright, I am calling him done. Let's see if we can get the tape off. It's been on there for months. Here we go, we have two chickens. Two chickens. I like both of them. There we go, we got two chickens. I like both of them. Oh, some of the tape's still on here. There you go. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time.